What's up, class? Mr. Kerbster here. On tonight's episode of Detention Span, we cover the college football semifinals. We preview the Super NFL Wildcard Weekend. We got some Ask the Class questions sent into us by you, the class, and we got our illustrious Big Mike of the Week. So get your notes out, take a seat, and welcome to Detention Span. It's a one-man show tonight, so I'm running the theme song. Let it play. Like Coach Dion said, play my theme music.
Sit down, kids, and strap on in. Detention span is about to begin. Kirby's at the desk, bringing the heat, and the boys on the couch are never taking defeat. We're gonna bet it all on the money line. Detention span is in session tonight. Tell me what you think. Should I take a parlay? If they score, you gotta drink. Hey, we're just getting started. We're getting yards on the ground. Defense is playing tight. Detention span is in session tonight.
Welcome to Detention Span. How you guys doing? It's your boy, Mr. Kerbster. I'm the only one in the classroom tonight, but that's okay because I really wanted to preview the college football semifinals and I wanted to talk some Super Wild Card Saturday football. We'll get into, you know what? We might get slutty with it and we might talk some Super Wild Card Sunday football too. But we also got some Ask the Class questions. We're going to get into the Ole Miss Miami game. I'm going to break down the Oregon Indiana game. I got stats on deck. I'm tumbling, I'm fumbling, I'm stumbling my words, but that's okay. We're going to roll it over to Miami at Ole Miss. I want to talk about this game. I want to talk about these teams. I don't know if you guys want to do a new segment real quick called the Wanna Feel Broke segment. This just came across my feed real quick. I saw that Isaac Tesla spent $41,000 on a rookie dinner tab. And I worked a shovel and rake all day to hopefully amount to saving that in 1 year. So yeah, hopefully I have that in my bank account hopefully 1 year or 2 years while this dude is dropping it on a dinner tab. So that's my feel broke segment of the day. But you know what? If I'm feeling broke, maybe I should take Miami minus 3.5, or maybe I should take Ole Miss plus 142 on the money line. Let's get into this. We got Carson Beck leading his team alongside a real suffocating defense. And when I say suffocating defense, I want you to think of Islam Makhachev choking out his opponents and watching them suffocate. That's what this Miami D-line does to teams. And it's led by a beast named Ruben Bain. And this team, man, just like their coach Mario Cristobal, they are fucking vicious. They are mean. There's some good ball players. I'm really excited for this game. Carson Beck, man, they've been on a tear. Miami, you know what? They said, hey, we beat Notre Dame. We belong in this college football playoff. We're going to let them know who we are. We're the fucking you. We're going to get after it. That's what we do here down at Miami. We compete for national championships. You got Michael Irvin taking his belt off, spanking every opponent colored trash can he can find on the sideline. It's been mayhem. It's been amazing. I can't get enough of Michael Irvin on the sideline. I can't get enough of this Miami team. You know, I've been on Miami for the whole playoff, actually. I love Miami. I love their D-line. I think Carson Beck is a hell of a quarterback. I think when he's on and makes smart decisions and the run game's going, Fletcher's running the ball well, they're a tough team to beat, man. This D-line, they will suffocate and bulldoze you into the ground. And then they will roll you over with the compactor and try to pass a grade test after they're done. This team, man, it's kind of like these two teams, I compare it to John Cena and Brock Lesnar going at it. It's just strength versus strength. The immovable object versus the it's the inanimate object. versus the immovable force. Did I get that wrong? It was on every WWE opening. I'm trying to remember it. The inanimable object versus the irrestoppable force. I don't know. I can't bring it up. I probably fucked it up. But basically, it's like that. They're going at it. Ruben Bain, I think this dude might bench press 525 pounds. He had 3 sacks in the A&M game. And he gave Julian, do you know what I'm saying, some problems last week in that game. And he's accompanied by Akeem Messidor. I hope I said that right. These guys are 2 freight trains. They get after it. But, Will Eccles, the Ole Miss D tackle on the other side, he's got something else to say about that. He's also a standout star, NFL caliber type potential, star potential. He's a beast. Ole Miss also, fun fact, they have a running back who has had 23 touchdowns, and he goes by the name of Kewan Lacey. I don't know if you've heard of him, but no big deal. This guy is just has the third best or the third most rushing touchdowns in a single season in SEC history. No big deal. Third most in the SEC. They've had some pretty good backs in that division, I think. I'm also looking for Harrison Wallace to have a big game on the Ole Miss squad. But it's really going to come down to Trinidad Chambliss. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. In his high-scoring offense. But former D2 player, pretty exciting stuff. Go from D2 to potentially playing for a shot at a national championship, playing for a shot to go to the national championship. These 2 teams, man, this is going to be a war. I can't wait. I'm probably most excited for this game than I am the Indiana-Oregon game, and I'm one of the biggest Fernando Mendoza fans in the country. I have been last year since Cal. You can look it up. You can maybe find a tweet. I don't know. But Miami, this is kind of a bad, sad stat, weird stat, probably a stat you don't want to hear if you're a Miami fan. So, Danny, turn this off. Miami, they are 0-4 in the Fiesta Bowl. Not a good stat. If I had my team in the Fiesta Bowl and we were 0-4, I would probably think we're cursed. Kind of as the Seahawks are 0-2 when they wear all blue in the Super Bowl. So this year, if we wear all blue in the Super Bowl, I will fly down to Santa Clara, steal the jerseys, and sabotage their uniform choice so they're forced to wear a different color or not all blues. You can wear blue and gray. Blue on gray wins the Super Bowl. We're not gonna talk Seahawks. They're resting. They're in the Hawks' Nest resting. We're talking Miami Ole Miss. We're talking Will Eccles versus Ruben Bain. We're talking Trinidad versus Beck. Trinidad's such an awesome name. I mean, I'm thinking of Trinidad Jones, obviously, or James, but such a cool name. This dude is so much fun to watch. Saw he signed an extension. Kind of weird they sign extensions now in college football. Kind of a new way of the land in that game. But going to stay at Ole Miss, kind of cool. Everyone kind of thought he might go to LSU. He's going to stay there. But Carson Beck, man, I'm real happy for him. I personally have Carson Beck as my second best quarterback in this draft. I have Fernando Mendoza number 1, Carson Beck 2, and I'm still deciding on who I have that list. I have till March to get that out, but I'll be working on that. Trust me. Miami though, they got a man. He's a freshman. He goes by the name of Sorry. I just want to make sure who I wanted to. That's right. Sorry. Forgive me, Miami. He goes by the name of Malachi Tony, but I know him as Baby Jesus. This dude turns water into touchdowns. He's got 1,000 yards. He's got 8 touchdowns. This dude's a monster. He's a freshman. Crazy. This dude is disgusting. Mark Fletcher Jr., disgusting. Damn near has 1,000 yards on the season, 10 touchdowns. He's basically giving you a touchdown every game. This Miami team, they're not going to really blow you out, but they can dominate you and beat you by 10 to 14 points and control the game the entire duration of the game. They can control you on offense, drain the clock, and they can get you off the field with their defense, and they can get you in 3rd and long situations, 3 and out situations where you can't find anything to get going. But if there's someone, or if there's a team who's going to get going on this team, it's Ole Miss. Ole Miss, damn near want to say they're averaging 30 points a game. I mean, let's just go over their last 5 games: 39, 41, 38, 34, 49, 30. You could say they're good for 40 a game if you really wanted to break the math down like that. I've been on Miami all playoff. I don't see why I should hop off the train. I am a former Hurricane myself. I was the quarterback for the U in fourth and fifth grade. I led my team to the semifinals as a Hurricane, so I know exactly what Carson Beck's going through. Unfortunately, we lost. So, I mean, that could be an omen right there. That may be why I'm leaning Ole Miss, because I'm looking at the picture now, me in the Hurricane jersey with my dad, in the second year where we lost in the semifinals. I don't know. I really like Ole Miss. If Ole Miss can score 40 points this game, they're not losing it. Because I don't see Miami scoring 40 points up with Ole Miss. Miami just doesn't score that many points. Ole Miss, though, they score some points, and they're representing the SEC. So they just got bigger dudes. Like I said, I really want Miami to win. If I was to bet on it, great bets, Ole Miss money line. You're getting great money for great players. Definitely could be all over that. I like the under in 52.5. Like I said, I think it's going to be a close game. I don't see them scoring as many points as 40 or, like high end 30, low 40s. I hope it stays in the 20s. I hope we get a really good back and forth defensive battle, with some good offensive play mixed into it. But I like the under in that, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to stream that game tomorrow. If you want to watch on the YouTube, go subscribe to the YouTube, by the way. Go follow us on Instagram, too. Over 100 followers, no big deal. Like I said, we've always been for the tens and the millions. And, let me preface by saying I love everybody involved in the class. This is where we come to talk some ball, forget about all the bullshit in the world, and, come talk about why we love sports, why we love entertainment, and why we get after it. These teams are going to get after it. Let's roll over. I got to get my notes right this time. I want to roll over to the Indiana-Oregon Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl semifinal championship. Let me find my notes over somewhere over the rainbow. My notes are over here because I did my notes backwards. Wizard of Oz, kind of a weird movie. Haven't seen any of the Wicked movies. If I had a girlfriend, maybe I would see the Wicked movies, but obviously I'm married to the game right now. I have to talk Indiana, Oregon for the boys and the females out there, not just the boys, sorry. Females welcome, as always. I always say 80% of our demographic is female. I don't know why. I'm just the chick whisperer. I know what chicks dig. Crazy stat to kick this off. I just want to brag about Coach Signetti real quick. Indiana hasn't won more than 8 games in a season since 1945 before Coach Kurt Signetti got to Indiana. He went 11-2 last year, and he's 14-0 this year. This man has come into town and made Indiana a perennial favorite in college football. They have marked their flag in the landscape in the new age of college football as a powerhouse team, and now are set. Kirk Signetti, I think he's a master of the transfer portal. I think he's followed what the great college basketball coaches do, and they bring in older talent that is experienced talent, and they pay him with Mark Cuban's money. That's what they do. Mark Cuban has helped turn Indiana into a powerhouse, and he has helped Coach Kirk Signetti look like a freaking beast, which he is, man. He's a psychopath. The dude has won everywhere he's went. I can't stop watching him. And, of course, he's led by my favorite player in college football, who I had last year when he was playing at Cal. Had him slated this year as one of my top 3 quarterbacks, Fernando Mendoza, Heisman Mendoza. He's looking to lead his team to their first national championship, along with Oregon, who's looking to win their first national championship, led by Dante Moore and Coach Dan Lanning. These two, let's go. Actually, you know what? I did have something sent in to me this week with the Mendoza Dante Moore debate, kind of saying how Mendoza is just a game manager. He just checks everything down. Indiana averages 220 yards a game on the ground. It's all their running game. You know, he's not as good as he says he is, or he's as good as he says he is. He's not as good as they say he is. And I just want to tell you, you're playing out wrong. This dude is the renowned number 1 pick for a reason. He is so smart and surgical with the ball. And this dude's got zip on his fucking ball. You want to see who's going to be a good NFL player? You got to look at the zip on the ball, how they complete the passes over the middle, how they get their outs, how they're running the game. You know, if they're hitting their checkdowns and they're taking and the run game's going, they're doing something right. The offense is flowing. You might think, oh, they're just dominating them in the run game, but they just got that aspect of their offense humming. So why not go to the well if it's working? When you're a good team and you have a well-rounded, cohesive unit and they're all doing their part and doing their job, they're impossible to beat. And Coach Cignetti, man, he's been around Coach Saban, other great coaches. Coach Saban, obviously the best coach in college football. He's picked up some great tools along the way, and they like I said, they've really turned the ship around in Indiana, and it's attributed to Cignetti, but I really think Fernando Mendoza has had a huge impact on that. I just wanted to make sure I'm reading the stats right. Indiana is also accompanied by Omar Cooper Jr. and Elijah Surratt. These two dudes are actually really underrated receivers. Here's a crazy stat. These dudes both have, Omar Cooper Jr. has 849 yards and 13 touchdowns, and Elijah Surratt has 727 yards and 12 touchdowns. So these dudes are basically both scoring a touchdown every game. They're averaging 220 on the ground, and you stop and think, how did this team dominate Bama and run them out of Pasadena and embarrass them in the granddaddy of them all in the most beautiful setting in college football? Well, that's how. By doing that, by having those players, by having that production in those groups. And this defense is stout too, man. I don't know, the X's and O's and schemes that they're running to stop people, but I just know this defense comes to play, and they're ferocious. Not saying this Oregon defense isn't ferocious, because this Oregon defense is disgustingly dangerous. They are fast. They are strong. People forget Dan Lanning. Defensive coordinator coming from the SEC. This dude knows angry defenses. This dude had an angry pack of dogs down in Georgia that he was helping win 2 national championships. So this dude's been there, and he's really put Oregon on the map and has made Oregon one of the star programs in all of college football. Oregon, they open up the checkbook and they write the check, and they get the production on the field, and it shows. They're doing their end, they're doing their job, they're flying around. Dante Moore, he's slated to be the 2nd overall pick. Dante Moore, he's a great player. I'm not sure if I see the zip on the ball, the same zip Mendoza has. I don't know. I know Beck's got that zip. Fernando's got that zip. I don't know if Moore's got that zip. He kind of reminds me of, he either shows me flashes of Bryce Young, or I get a little bit of Caleb Williams. And there's not really a happy medium in there. I mean, you could argue they kind of sometimes find that sweet spot, and that's how they've been winning games. But I just think this Indiana team is going to beat them again, especially on a neutral site. Indiana, obviously, they played in Oregon earlier this year. They despite have thrown a pick six in that second half, were able to bounce back and come and beat Oregon. I'm hoping I believe that was in the second half. I don't know. I watched so many games. I just think Indiana is such a better team than they were in that point. Granted, Oregon is an awesome team. I just think Indiana is just on another level right now. They can't be stopped on offense. This offense is too efficient. I just don't think people realize how good Mendoza runs this offense and how he's just able to take his team down the field. And also, they got some hoggies up front. One of the best. I mean, I've been saying hogs as O-line forever. I mean, dating back my dad used to wear the hog shirt. He taught me, that was the Washington O-line. And I've always just referred to O-linemen as hogs. And Mendoza is out here dropping the greatest phrase ever, calling these boys hoggies. He said, we got the best hoggies up front. You got to have good hoggies if you want a good team. And they got the hoggies. Seattle, some say Seattle's got the hoggies. I know Gray Zabel, that's a hoggy right there. But I love that phrase. Mendoza, man, he's just having just an unbelievable year. I really hope to see him continue and win this game and get a chance to play for a national championship. But I love Dan Lanning. I love what he's done at Oregon. I'm a huge Dan Lanning fan. I think he's a great man, a great leader. He runs this program phenomenally. Like I said, Oregon opens up the fucking checkbook. They go get the players. Dan Lanning's great at recruiting. He's great at having a grasp on the transfer portal and getting the right guys in because they can pay that money. And college football is good when Oregon's good, man. Oregon's a fun team. I owe Big Dunk an Oregon hoodie. I'm going to have to pay up on that soon. I might have said they won a playoff game like a month and a half ago before they started heating up. So I was wrong on Oregon. They have really made me a believer, especially when they went out and rolled Texas Tech, who arguably had one of the best defenses in the country, made them look embarrassing, needless to say the least, in that game about a week and a half ago. But exciting times at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. I wish I could go. I would love to go to the Peach Bowl one day. That would be amazing. That is Friday night. We'll be streaming that as well. Be in the studio a bunch, streaming these games, talking about them. But man, if I had to take a pick, I love Indiana minus 3.5, and I love the over in 48.5. And I just want to see if I need anything else from this game. I don't think this game is going to decide who the number one pick is. I think Mendoza has that locked up. I think he'll be an Oakland Raider. We'll see if Moore wants to stay in school and avoid becoming a New York Jet, because I don't even think New York knows if Aaron Glenn is the correct choice and answer there right now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. For now, we got to focus on the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Chick-fil-A, man, I fucking love Chick-fil-A. I literally in high school, I stayed the night in a Chick-fil-A parking lot with my friends. It was the opening for a Chick-fil-A. We stayed the night in the parking lot to be one of the first 100 people in, because if you were one of the first 100 people in, you got free Chick-fil-A for a year, which was really just one free meal every week. So you got 52 free meals. Best believe high school Kirby lived off of that and fueled his body strictly by chicken sandwiches with and without the pickles, just depending how I feel. Best ice in the game too. Chick-fil-A, congrats for sponsoring the Peach Bowl. But bowl games, my gripe is not with players not wanting to show up and play in these quote-unquote meaningless bowl games. My gripe with them is these titles are too long, and they're hilarious. I think I got to do a list of the funniest bowl game titles in the history. I gotta put that together, and I'll get back to you guys on that. But the college football playoff semifinal at the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, I will be watching. I cannot wait. Let's roll into some NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. But first, we got an ad. Yes, we got an ad. Our dear friends at Mams sent us in. They are sponsoring our NFL segment, part of the show. This segment is brought to you by Mam's Clothing. They have workout shirts and sweatshirts that work with you and they don't move against you. From the weight room to the weekend, they've got you covered. Follow Mam's Clothing on social media and get geared up. I know they got a new drop or just had a new hoodie drop. Go follow them, MAMS on social media, Mam's Clothing. We love Mam's Clothing. Got a shirt right here. You know I wear them to the gym. Broad shoulders. Check them out. Alrighty. NFL Super Wild Card Weekend. It's my favorite time of the year. It's just, I walk outside and I smell NFL playoffs. I don't take those moments for granted. I really soak it in. I try to spend all day outside, smelling the air at work and I'm like, it's playoff season. We're about to get some good games. We're about to get some good shots of people going home early especially in the Jacksonville Buffalo game. Why does that feel like someone's going home too early? That doesn't sit right with me. Regardless, I'm going to get into that game. Let's roll up. Let's start with Saturday night or Saturday. The LA Rams are going to Carolina. Despite the Panthers losing to the Buccaneers last week, the Atlanta Falcons come through and help the Panthers jump the Buccaneers and secure the last playoff spot in the division for the NFC South. They will be hosting their first home playoff game since 2017. That was when I graduated. That was a long time ago. Damn near almost 10 years ago. LA Rams minus 10.5 point favorites. I think that tells you something on how Vegas feels about this game. The over-under is 46.5. I love that over. I honestly think this is a 28-17 game. Let's do the math there. 28. I failed algebra 2 twice. 28, that's a 5. That's a 1. That's 3. That's 45. 28-17 is not going to do it. So if I can get 30-20 game, I'm in the money. I'm making some real money. I might have enough money to pay my rent, pay my phone bill, pay my Netflix bill that keeps going up by $5 every 3 months. I don't know what's up with that Netflix. I don't fucking watch Stranger Things. I don't know why you're up in my shit. Not even taking movies away. I like taking That's My Boy off Netflix. It's okay. I got it on DVD and Blu-ray. Whatever. We're looking for the Rams to be fully staffed again. Devontae Adams obviously coming back off that hamstring issue. I think him and Puka are just simply going to be too much for this Carolina defense to handle. Despite the Rams losing a 31-28 battle earlier this year, I quite frankly think that was just a off week for the Rams traveling cross country. Not much to get up for. They're already kind of secured their spot in the playoffs. Not too much stress in the world. Might have overlooked a Carolina team. They're not going to be overlooking them this weekend. They have, in my opinion, even though it's a coin flip, pick 'em odds right now in the MVP. I think Matt Stafford is the MVP. I want to pull up his stats real quick because I think he's been having an unbelievable year. 4,700 yards, 46 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Second in his division, no big deal. 12-5, no big deal. Just been winning games like crazy since 2021 when, he won a Super Bowl that year too. This dude just wins. If there's one team that makes me swallow loudly in this playoff series, in this playoff bracket, it's the LA Rams. And that's the only time I'm going to say it. So clip that. Matt Stafford, man, 4,700 passing yards. I want to see how many Drake May has, okay? Because I don't think this MVP race is as close or comparable as people say it is. Granted, New England's 14-3. They've had a great year. Drake May, okay. Not bad. About 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 picks. That's not bad. But, if he's doing that at a young age, I look for him to sustain that type of playing on the field, and he'll eventually have his time to win an MVP. But Matt Stafford, he's nearing the end of his career. He's never won an MVP. He's got better stats. Arguably, I think people would agree that the Rams are a better team than the Patriots. Obviously, the Rams played in the NFC West. They have to play the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks twice a year. New England, obviously, you hear the schedule nickname, you hear the cupcake schedule talk. So do with that as you may. I really think Matt Stafford should be the MVP. And honestly, I just think the Panthers team has just been plagued by a lack of inconsistent play. Bryce Young is a coin flip player. He's either throwing 3 touchdowns a game and they're winning and their D-line's getting pressure, or he's throwing no touchdowns a game and 2 interceptions and the defense is getting torched. They don't have a happy medium. They're the only team in this entire playoff with a below 500 record. So I don't understand why people would pick Carolina in this game. I think LA is going to come in and roll this team. I hope it's a good game, but LA knows where they got to be and they know what it takes for what they got to do to win these games. McVay, he's got these boys playing disciplined, smart ball. This dude is the best offensive play caller in the game. Best believe he's going to show up just like the Colts defense did in the 2006 AFC Championship, which I have on the screen, seeing Belichick cry. That makes me happy, considering what happened in 2014, 10 years ago. We don't have to talk about that. But, if the Panthers are looking to have a chance here, you would hope that Meow Mix stays off the line and Ted McMillan scores a couple touchdowns and continues his 1,000-yard season and his dominant playing on the field. Ted McMillan, he's one of my favorite receivers to watch. I know people were on him on the draft saying, "Oh, this guy doesn't love football." I know he said, I think he said something amongst those lines of, he doesn't love football. Football's not his number one love in his life, which is fine. If I was making that much money, football would not be my number one love in my life. My job is not my number one love in my life. Money and chilling is my number one love in my life. And maybe my dog and my mom after that. But, that's going to be hopefully a fun game. I don't think so. Look for Devontae Adams to kind of pick it up, get the Rams going. I want to see the Rams in Seattle. So we'll see. We'll see how that matches up. Saturday night main event, the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. One of the greatest rivalries in NFL history. My older brother, Chicago Bears fan. Uncle Drew, one of my best friends, Green Bay Packer fans. And I just want to say, I think along with everybody but the state of Wisconsin is rooting for the Chicago Bears. This team is so fun, man. Ben Johnson is such a great coach. But what worries me about the Packers is not necessarily what's going on in the coaching or what's going on in the field. My dear friend Uncle Drew, diehard Packers fan, literally a Packers owner, owns stock in the Green Bay Packers, was posting on his Instagram a picture of Aaron Rodgers getting in the playoff and not Jordan Love. So I don't quite frankly understand what that's about. That would kind of be like, obviously you're dating and you're married to this new chick. He just texted me right now. And you guys think hey, maybe we might get engaged down the road. Things are going sweet. We just moved in together. We just signed our names on a 30-year mortgage together. We're about to have a family, and then you catch your significant other posting pictures of their ex on their Instagram. It would be pretty weird. The vibes aren't good with Packer fans and the Packers team. There's a disconnect between the two right now. They're not happy with the playing on the field. Granted, they're going to tell you our defense is out, we have no chance. But you have Jordan Love, you have Watson, you have Josh Jacobs, you still have a good O-line. You got people stepping up. You're the Green Bay Packers. You got Matt LaFleur, supposedly one of the best coaches in the game. You're telling me that you're not going to be able to compete and win this game when you guys were looking good against the Bears before Love got that concussion when they played a few weeks ago. These teams also have had some great matchups, obviously, with the one game ending in the walk-off interception, next game ending in the walk-off touchdown pass to DJ Moore in overtime. The cardiac Bears, though, man, the Bears, they got to come out. They can't play cardiac football. I don't know if cardiac football plays in January. It definitely doesn't play in February unless you're Patrick Mahomes. But, I mean, we could see. The Bears, though, I would love to see them coming out and rolling and playing consistent the entire game, get the run game going, get Caleb dialed in on the passing game. Bears are looking to add Roman Dunze back in the lineup. He's been hurt. That's a huge addition for the Bears to get him back. We know this is going to be a cold weathered game down over in Chicago. That stadium's going to be fucking rocking, by the way. It's going to be shaking. I want to be surprised if all the infrastructure and rusty stands fall apart and it collapses with how hyped these fans are going to get in Chicago. I know they're going to be hammered too. One of the coolest stadiums I've ever been to in my life. I just need my older brother. I want the Bears to win. I want my older brother to be happy. I want Uncle Drew to be sad. I love the Bears. I love Ben Johnson. I've been a huge supporter of Caleb Williams. Football is good when the Bears are good. The Bears are an awesome team. Chicago is one of the biggest cities in the country. They're one of the most famous franchises of all time. And if they beat the Packers, they can play with anyone except the Seattle Seahawks. But, the Packers, they don't have the best defense. They don't rank top 10 in any category, and they've struggled against the run this year. So if Swift and Monungai, if they can get it rolling and they can limit to no turnovers on the offense between them not fumbling and Caleb not fumbling or throwing any interceptions, I don't think the Green Bay Packers have anybody besides McKinley that's going to be able to get turnovers for their squad. I just think the Bears are the hotter team right now. That stadium, it's going to be louder than a Wiz Khalifa studio. I wish I was invited to a Wiz Khalifa studio. I would definitely bring some weed for him. But yeah, I think Packer fans are low-key Steeler fans right now. And yeah, that's kind of my preview on that game. But like I said, we'll be streaming all week. We'll be doing another episode where I'm going to break into the Sunday games and the Monday night game. But for now, we're just going to flip it over to a few Ask the Class segments, a few questions sent in by the class. It's my favorite segment that we do here. And then, of course, we got our big mic to end us out, and I can get this episode out to the class. But I just want to say, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and go subscribe to us on YouTube. Go like, comment, subscribe. I already said subscribe. But please go subscribe. We're trying to get to 100 followers before the Super Bowl, or 100 subscribers before the Super Bowl. If we can get 150, that would be great too. Follow us on Instagram. We're active there, and more. Believe we'll be getting our Discord set up soon. Can interact in there. DM the account if you have any Ask the Class questions. Like I said, this is a segment we do every episode. Just a good way for me to talk about anything that you guys want to talk about that I haven't thought about bringing up, or something that can, start a good conversation, start a good debate. But yeah, follow us on those socials, and thank you all for the support. So, first question in the Ask the Class segment: who do I think the Seattle Seahawks will beat in the Super Bowl? Wow, what a great question. Sent in by my main man, Nordic Uso. If you're in the fight game, you know who Nordic Uso is. Sorry, if you know, you know. Who do I think is going to play my Seattle Seahawks down in Santa Clara on February 8th? Facing, who do I think is going to try to take a Silver Slut Lombardi trophy out of Sammy Emerald's hands? The Emerald Bullet. I really, in my heart of hearts, think for some odd reason, it's going to be the Jaguars and Seahawks. One of my best friends, Jaguars fan, was a Seahawks fan. We won't talk about that. Big Trev versus the Big Emerald. I think it's going to be that. Statistically, though, I think it's going to be Seattle and the Buffalo Bills, and we're going to have to get payback for what Buffalo did after they came back and spit in our butts in Seattle a year ago. I didn't forget about that, Buffalo. Don't think because you have great, delicious chicken wings, your quarterback's got a super hot Hollywood fiance or wife. They got married, and just because you got a stud quarterback, just don't think because you have all that going for you. I forgot. Don't think because you guys are such cool tailgaters and cool people. When I watch the one dude who cooks steaks and smokes other types of meats in tailgates in the parking lot every Sunday before the game. I'm not holding that against you, but I do remember what your team did to me. So we're going to have to handle that on the field. I think it's going to be the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. But if my dad is a football god, which I think he is a special teams football god, I think it's going to be Jaguars Seahawks. But that, regardless, I would love both those. Next question. Do I have Patty the Batty Pimlet or the highlight reel Justin Gaethje? All right, man. Pay-per-view's coming up in a couple weeks. First pay-per-view on Paramount. Is it on Paramount Plus? I don't know. I think so. I have so many subscription apps. I don't even know what they're called anymore these days, but I have them all. This is a crazy card, and we got Amanda Nunes and Kayla Harrison going at it. I'm really excited for this card. I'm really excited I don't have to pay a pay-per-view price for this card. Patty Pimlet, he's just stepped it up. All of a sudden, once he stepped it up and fought Chandler and destroyed him, he has just been on a different level. The dude is just really stepping into his prime right now. And Justin Gaethje, man, he's got one more shot at the title. It's his final dance. I would love to see another highlight. These two are gonna fucking throw hands. This is gonna be a barn-burning bar fist fight. This is like the Kentucky Kingsmen versus the British Kingsmen. They're going at it. It's gonna be fireworks. I can't fucking wait. I'm trying to decide who I have. If I had a lean, I would probably say give me Patty Pimlet. I think he's leaning towards the dog. I'm gonna take Patty. Definitely gonna have some fun betting on that fight. And I don't know why. I think I'm gonna take Kayla Harrison. I just think she's kind of in the mode right now. Nunez coming off the retirement, and Harrison, who has been living in the gym. I think Harrison gets that done too. But that's going to be an exciting card. All right, let's move on. Next question. Thanks, Josiah, for sending that in. Love you, brother. Next question. Which sports-related memory made you fall in love with sports? That's a great question. Sent in to our classmate, Pat. Pat, you know what made me fall in love with sports? It was the 2005 NFC divisional round game where Tony Romo fumbled the field goal snap and the Seattle Seahawks won the game and went on to compete in a Super Bowl. I was at that game. That was the year I started going to sporting events. My dad had sweet tickets to the Seahawks. He was an awesome dude. He really hooked it up for his family and tried to make that a fun experience. That's why I love the Seattle Seahawks so much, man. Have such fond memories of doing such cool stuff at that stadium. It's such an awesome, family friendly environment team, and the fans are like no other. And that place is loud and rocks like no other stadium in the country. You just don't understand until you've been there, until you're trapped in the sound. It's just different once you get there. I would say that moment really made me just fall in love. Hearing the crowd erupt, I was just like, I love it, man. Couldn't get enough ball. Great question. That was probably my first moment where I was like, man, I really love this game. All right, last question, and then we'll get on with our night and get on with our week. Do we invite the new Pope to the Seahawks game? That's a great question, because you look back, 2005, new Pope, Seahawks go to the Super Bowl. 2013, new Pope, Seahawks go to the Super Bowl. 2025, new Pope, does Sammy Emerald go to the Super Bowl? Super Bowl favorites, the 1 seed. 4 times the Seattle Seahawks, nope. Actually, yes, 4 times. But the previous 3 times the Seattle Seahawks have been the number 1 seed, they've gone to the Super Bowl. They've won 1. Should have won 2. Ruined my life. Don't have to get into it. But I think we get Pope Leo to this fucking game. I think we let him raise the 12 flag. If Pope Leo raises the 12 flag, we're for sure down in Santa Clara. And we're taking the cash out of the ceiling that we left in the locker room along with our cigars, and we're smoking them bitches up and hoisting the trophy. But we'll get on to that. Time will tell. We will see. And I will see all you guys in class later this week. So thanks for tuning in. And as always, you got detention. We'll see you later. Peace.